Welcome to the RVA Small Business Show, your number one resource for business growth education, insights, and news. Let's get today's show started.
Welcome to the RVA Small Business Show, exclusively on the RVA Small Business Network. I'm Joan Bowling, your host for today's show. Branding and networking, you know what it is, but are you doing it right? And is it helping to grow your business? If you want to learn to increase your organization's exposure, build your brand awareness, and be seen as the go-to expert in your industry, you're in luck. Today's guest is a master connector and brander. Anna Sothen is here and ready to help you develop strong relationships with business owners and professionals, all while building your own brand. Anna, welcome to the RVA Small Business Show. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you, Joan. I'm excited to be here. That was a wonderful introduction.
Thank you. Now, you say you help clients increase their exposure, build their brand awareness, and fashion them as the go-to expert in their industry.
Correct.
How do you go about doing that?
So I am very lucky that I've partnered with Best Version Media, which is a publishing company. And so we publish a monthly in-person print publication that goes directly to homeowners' mailboxes each and every single month. So not in the little square at the bottom where the newspaper goes, but directly with their bills. And they receive it, and there's always a feature family on the front cover, so it draws people in, and then that's where we get the opportunity to expose our brand sponsors to the homeowners each and every single month.
So would you view that a little bit different than advertising? Is it a combination of the marketing advertising?
That's a really good question, because I tell people all the time, all advertising or all branding is not advertising, but all advertising is branding. And so there's a difference between the two, and I'll share with you what the difference is. Typical advertising is a commercial, a radio commercial, a TV commercial, a billboard. I've never seen anybody on 95 see a billboard and pull over their car and be like, I need to take a picture of that. Probably a little bit dangerous, but that's advertising. What advertising says to the consumer is buy from me. Here's my service, here's my product, here's what you need to buy and why you need to buy it. So that's advertising. Branding instead is providing value and service or knowledge and expertise to the person that you are delivering that information to.
So in the publication then, it extends a little bit to talk to the industry expert, a little bit more about what they do as opposed to name, logo,
Correct.
Phone number.
Absolutely. So our experts have an opportunity where every 3 months they get to write an article. So think of a blog, but in a print form that goes directly to the homeowners. And so they get to share that knowledge. So for example, a roofer, why would you need to have your roof inspected after a storm, right? Or your hairstylist, what's a Brazilian blowout and why do I need one right before the summer, starts when you have crazy curly hair like I do? So they get to share that. They have a voice in the community. And once there's an expert for that industry, they are the only expert. So they are the only person who gets to have that voice every 3 months.
I like that you said for the community. And there may be those in our audience that don't know what a neighborhood magazine is.
Correct.
So define that. And then why do you feel it's important to be an owner, to be part of that neighborhood publishing industry?
Well, our publication, so we do have 16 different publications in the Richmond area, and we have certain keynotes that were, I guess not keynotes, but certain criteria that we want to have in order to make a publication viable. And so where our sponsors receive benefit from doing that. So we do at least 2,000 homes, less than 5,000. If we do less than 2,000, it's really not worth your time and your money. More than 5,000, it becomes so ad heavy that people don't read it. So they're like, oh, that's just another ad. Valpak, for example, really good. If you're doing Valpak, continue to do that because more brand exposure is better than less. But it's just another advertisement, right? So unless you're specifically looking for something, you're pitching it away. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we deliver directly to the homeowners and they have the opportunity, like I said, it goes directly into their mailboxes. And it gives sponsors an opportunity to be seen each and every single month because we have a homeowner who lives 4 doors down, walks their dog in front of your house, their kid goes to school with your child. because we have that, it draws them in. And people want to read that article because, let's just be honest, we're curious about who we live next door to.
We are curious, and it's almost like an over-the-fence conversation landing in your mailbox.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned 16 different markets. Where is that market reach? How far do you go? Can you give some boundaries to that?
Oh, so I'm geographically challenged. So I will try to do this. And anybody who watches this and says, she's wrong, you're probably right. I was wrong. So we have one, for example, Brander Mill has its own publication because they have close to 5,000 homeowners. Then there's one for Mad Green and Fox Creek. And then there's Neighbors of South Chesterfield. There's Swift Creek Living, which is Roundtray, Summer Lake, Westerly, Watermill, Foxfire. Powhatan has its own publication. And then there's some in the West End as well, too. So we have Short Pump Neighbors, Atlee Neighbors, Wyndham and Twin Hickory. So that is what makes up the different areas. But as far as a company as Best Version Media, we actually have 1,200 different publications all over the U.S. and Canada. So it's not just me in my basement putting together a magazine.
That's a very strong presence.
It is.
And as you said, with any relationship, you don't know everything.
Correct.
And as with any relationship, it's not static. There's always new layers to peel back and get to know. And if you're a thriving business, you're adding to those layers of opportunities for your clients and to serve those clients.
Absolutely.
That makes perfect sense then with what you do. All right, I have to ask you, most of us within a tenure in our careers have done a few things. And those jobs have really helped build and sort of the structure, the foundation of what we do today. So it's rather an enrichment kind of factor. The common thread, as I've seen from the things that you have done in your career, is exceptional customer service.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about the skill set involved in that. Peel back the layers on that and tell us what that umbrella is all about inside.
So having been in customer service all the time, I heard this actually just this morning, that the customer is always right. And yes, that philosophy is a good way to practice, but really what customer service means to me is listening to the person that I'm talking to. So if you come to me with a problem or a challenge, my job is to listen to what you have to say and then see if I can provide solutions. So I label myself a problem solver, a solution, a person with solutions. And so that's what I strive. I'm going to listen to what you have to say and hear it and really embody it. And then who can I help connect you to that will help you solve that problem? The thing that I needed to learn was not to be the problem solver. That's where I find it challenging because I wanted to be the person for everybody, right? So if you came to me and said, hey, Anna, I need this, I wanted to be the one to provide it to you. But that put me into a bad situation, right? Because when you become the everything for everybody, it spreads you very thin. So instead, I want to be the human Rolodex. So if somebody comes and says, I need an electrician, I'm going to be able to provide you a couple of electricians, and then it's your responsibility to have a conversation with them and find the person that matches you, whether it be the time frame of when they can do it, price, personality, because that does, that has a lot to do with it as well, too. We don't all get along with everybody, which is okay.
It is okay. Absolutely.
It is okay.
You say that. And you brought up the human Rolodex, and I heard that before, and then you also had that in some of your notes. And I've experienced you in a couple of different events as the human Rolodex. It's like Joan goes and says hi, and then everyone's all around Anna because they know you.
Yes.
Because you invest in the relationships.
I do.
Something that is new to me is that there are those that call you the mayor. What is that all about?
So Mike King actually calls me the Princess Mayor. What I found when I first moved here to Richmond was that I didn't know anybody. I had a community back in Virginia Beach when I lived there for 25 years, right? You just develop community because you live there for a long time. Well, I didn't know anybody. So I made it my mission to go out and meet as many people as I possibly can and as many diverse groups as I possibly can. So I have a lot of people who call me and they're like, hey, Anna, who's that person who does X, Y, and Z? And I will know their name. I'll probably know their face and their name separately. That's another thing. But I do know a lot of individuals. But I worked hard at that.
Networking and connecting is hard. I go back to the exceptional customer service. If it were easy, everybody is doing it.
Yes.
But you do it well. And the thing that caught my attention when you were sharing some things is that you do listen well. And that is such an elevation of a conversation. It's the essence of a conversation. and it takes you from where you are to where you can go, which I think is fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of where you are and where to go, let's go back a little bit. You were born and raised until you were 13 in Italy.
Yes.
Very lovely.
Yes.
I'm sure you ate a lot of wonderful pasta, which is
did.
great. Good.
I did.
Italians, one of the things that they're known for is their rich community spirit.
Absolutely.
If there's an issue, the community gets together and they want to help you out. And I see that in you. Do you have a client story that you can share, no particular names or business, in which that spirit showed itself?
I would think so. So I do have she's now become a friend. So everybody that I work with, that's my goal, is for them to be a close friend of mine, that they entrust their business to me and vice versa. So I do have a friend who has partnered with us, and she is brand new to this area, and she has a thriving business in a different state. And when she came here, she wanted to know, well, how do I replicate what I was doing? And she's a one-man show. So it's her. It's sort of like a hairdresser. Like a hairdresser can't really replicate that unless she, has other hairstylists. So she came here, and so she and I partnered together. She's come to several of my events, but she's partnered with me in the magazine and with our digital. She's been able to increase her website exposure. So she's gotten a lot more hits on her website, and on Facebook, she's gotten a ton of comments. So that is a physical manifestation of the hard work that she's put in. I just gave her a tool to help her do those things, but it has been really, really exciting to watch her business grow.
You've helped her build her community.
Yes, absolutely.
It's fantastic and benefits both of you.
Yes.
Now, you're a giver, and your business, again, has a lot of different tentacles in the marketplace, does well, but we all know you can't pour from an empty cup.
No, ma'am.
You are a voracious reader. So I want to know, is there any philosophy or anything that you currently have read that gives you that knowledge to help you, your business, and your clients?
That's a pretty big ask.
All right.
That's a very big question. So I read the book Happier Than God, which is a wonderful book. I read it several times, actually, back to back. And what that helped me realize is to take radical responsibility for everything in my life. And when I shifted out of a place of victimhood into a place of power, it shifted my entire life. It helped my relationship with my husband. It helped my relationship with my children. It's helped me in business. When I come from a place of, I'm going to do the best thing that I can, and if I don't have the resources, I will find somebody who can help me achieve that goal. And to realize that whatever goal I have it has already happened. It's just a matter of my arriving to that goal.
You're progressing along the timeline.
Yes.
Is what I hear you saying.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned finding resources, but what other tools do you offer as resources to either clients or partners that you work with?
Other resources that I have, I'm part of 3 different chambers, the Chesterfield Chamber, the Powhatan Chamber, the Goochland Chamber. I'm also the managing director for the eWomen Network as well, too, here in Richmond, and that's another community of women business owners. I'm part of BNI. I think that's about it right now.
I think that's a full...
But there's more to come. There's more to come.
Really, you're going to have to clone yourself.
Probably. Probably.
Just in a nutshell, the value that you provide to clients is
helping them build their profitability. So at the end of the day, if you're not profitable, you're not a business, right? Like, we can't do it for free, which is why I tell people all the time, like, it's okay to ask to be paid for your services, because that's how they benefit, you benefit, it brings abundance into the world. And so that's what I help them do, is I help them realize that it's okay for them to be profitable. It's okay for them to be whatever extremely profitable means for them, but that them doing that allows them to give more to the communities that they're a part of.
Well, you brought it up. It allows them to give more to the community.
Absolutely.
It allows the community to thrive. Who doesn't want a community that has growing businesses,
Absolutely.
happy people in it because they're successful, but they offer expertise that we need, someone needs, the community needs.
Yep.
And so you help uncover that in the community as a welcome in the mailbox to get to know the community a little bit better,
Absolutely.
to make it a little bit tighter,
Absolutely.
and to make it a little bit more profitable.
Absolutely.
If people want to reach out to you, what's the most direct way to do that?
Anna Sothen at bestversionmedia.com. My apologies. A Sothen at bestversionmedia.com. I should probably know my own email. And via LinkedIn or Facebook at Anna Sothen.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anna, thank you so much for this great conversation today about what you do so well in the community.
Thank you.
Your lovely community spirit and the hard work that you do to build us all up here in the area. We appreciate you being here on the RVA Small Business.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. If you have any additional questions about branding or marketing or how to connect with Anna to learn more about her services, you can email her at asothen@bestversionmedia.com. That's asothen@bestversionmedia.com. This has been another episode of the RVA Small Business Show, RVA's only online streaming video network dedicated to small business growth, education, news, and trends. I'm Joan Bowling. I'll see you next time.
This has been another episode of the RVA Small Business Show, presented by the RVA Small Business Network. Be sure to like, share, and join our newsletter at rvasbn.com.